Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Celtic Unrestricted Review podcast. My name is Ryan Clifford, and it's a post-match game against Motherwell with myself and Jason. As a wee bit of a smile I see on you, Jason, a wee bit of positivity. That's recording a Saturday night, well, about on Sunday. It's no the two Ronnies tonight, mate. It's just the one Ronnie and Jason tonight, mate. So, JP's here with us tonight. Bye, mate. I'm glad to have you on, mate. Glad to chat with you again tonight, mate. Obviously, the game, obviously, we can talk about it, mate. Very good performance. Or sorry, very good result, shall I say. Performance-wise, questionable, but we did see before the game, mate. It was about winning the day. Obviously, Rangers won convincingly against Hearts, which a lot of people didn't think would happen. But we kind of did. We've said it in the group chat and stuff that I thought maybe Hearts would put a performance up, but for me, I didn't think Rangers would have beat today. It was all about what we done. And we won the game, mate. So, all in, mate, I think take away, might not be the best of performances, but 3 points, mate, 3 points. We're back on track, back top of the league, which we're only yet away from it anyway, but obviously Rangers won, so you're a bit of pressure to go back to top of the league. We've got the result, mate, but I think it's positive, mate, in terms of result-wise, and I hope you've had a good weekend as well, mate, and Celtic have helped that wee bit as well.
Good evening, mate. It's good to be on. Hope you had a good weekend, mate, as well. In regards to the game today, it wasn't the most eye-catching performance, but I'll take it because this was one of the games that you look back at the end of the season. If you win the title, but it was that game very much like a lot of the games last year, where it was winning 1-0s and 2-1s, and I think we, considering the back line, the way that our defence is now, I'll take that sort of result today. As I said, the pressure was on ever so slightly because Rangers did win. I was one of the ones I thought they were going to slip up today, but they never. They won convincingly, but no, I'll take the 3 points and we'll go on to what you choose now.
Like you say, mate, the 3 points was the biggest thing. Obviously, a better performance. You weren't entertained, etc. But I think the 3 points was just the main thing today. Obviously, if you get a good performance with it, then you're happy. But I think it was just the win today. And like you say, obviously, we knew, again, I'm not wanting to go and pinpoint players because you don't want to be too negative because you did win the game and you're back on a winning run. But we all know in terms of the back line, we're not full strength. Obviously, no Vickers and no Starfelt. Vickers, I think, is touch and go. Starfelt, is he touch and go? Again, we don't know. I know he was and says he's out for a while, but these things can change overnight, obviously. So Vickers might be the one that might come back and play maybe for the games during the week and Wednesday, I'm sure, on it Wednesday. So for me, I think the day's proven again that Stephen Welsh just is not good enough for Celtic, in my opinion. Again, I'm not going to say he's rotten because to play with Celtic and through youth at Celtic and play at Scotland 21s, you're no rotten. He's not going to be a player that's going to play every week, in my opinion, when obviously they're off it. For me, he gets too much bullied after the ball, Jason, in terms of the way he plays. I don't think he's big enough, strong enough, ability-wise, no good enough to play at the top level for us consistently. Again, I know we all need squad players. I get that. At every level, there's guys who are maybe not as good as others, etc., etc. But I think in terms of the day, I don't think he was that good. I know always weren't that good. I understand that, but just in terms of getting bullied after the ball and stuff, if Motherwell can bully you after the ball, what are you going to be like against Forsberg, Berner, Poulsen, and Kunku if they're off it? That's that. People might say, "Oh, Leipzig have you beat after Shakhtar." They're still a very, very good team, and especially with that back line. Like I said, I've said to JP and yourself as well. We might have Kyogo, we might have Jackie Marquez, we might have these guys, Jotas. We think are very good. They four are a step above the guys. As it stands now, the guys are superb. They're experienced. Berner went to Chelsea, didn't do too well, but he's still a fantastic player. You'd happily take a guy into the team they bother. So again, we'll talk about maybe that Welsh in another day or a bit of the pod, mate. But in terms of the day, mate, I think it's just showing you signs that maybe January, I think we need to get another centre back. And again, it was actually Robert that put it on one of their chats. that Ryan Porteous could be an option for a bargain because he's out a pre-contract, not going to cost you a lot of money. Me personally, I don't think he's fantastic, but he's better than Stephen Welsh, in my opinion. If you're going to get him a free contract, it is kind of there's no risk involved. You're not paying money for him. But I think if you were going to do that, you would need to do it quick because Hibs might give him a decent deal, or a team might come and get him and pay money. And instead, obviously, I know you can't buy him now, but they might say in January we'll give you £2 million. You know what I mean? Instead of a pre-contract, just so he's away. But for me, on Welsh, Jason, I don't want to slaughter him because he's no shite, but on performance-wise, he's not good enough, in my opinion.
No, you know how I feel about Welsh. I'm sure he's a lovely boy. You know what I mean? I think he's a Celtic man, but that doesn't make him a Celtic player, mate. It doesn't make him good enough to be a Celtic player. I'm a Celtic man, you're a Celtic man. We're never going to be good enough to play for Celtic. He looks very nervous in the ball. You could see after as I said before we come on, after 10 minutes a day, they put Van Veen on him, and within 5 minutes, Van Veen was in his face and he beat him at the ball twice. He slows the game he slows down too much. There was a point again today at one point where Callum McGregor's standing and Welsh has got the ball. McGregor's like that, go forward, and he's looking at him as if to say, "What do you mean?" McGregor's like that, fucking go forward. You know, I just think the last 2 games, he's just, I don't know, mate. He's just too lightweight, and he shouldn't be because he's a big bit of a boy, Ryan. Do you know what I mean? But he's just, I'm not going to say that I don't rate. I don't rate him. I'm going to say it right. I don't rate him. I don't think that he's good enough for Celtic. You know, people are saying that he's only 20, only 21, he's only 22, blah blah blah. Let's look at some of the players that are playing in now at the 22 at the back, centre halves, and they're immense. Porteous, I'd take Porteous, mate. I see the day if that's Porteous and Jens at the back, I'm a lot more assured. I feel that the whole team will be a lot more assured. I think that we know having Carter Vickers and Starfelt, you can see the knock-on effect that it's got in that squad, mate. I don't care what anybody says. If you've not got confidence in your back 2, or your back 4, it has a ripple effect. You know, that even the day that there was at certain corners and all that, you're just like, hell, do you know what I mean? We'll get away with one there. But I think, listen, mate, Wednesday with Leipzig, if we go into that with Welsh and Jens at the back, you can fucking forget it. And I don't want to be that negative. I don't, but I'm also being realistic. And Kunku will rip him apart. You know, Werner's very, very quick. They're 2 young boys, I get it. Is it because they're young and they're not experienced and that's why the mistakes happen? I don't know. I feel that Jens is more comfortable with the ball. I think Jens is ahead of Welsh in the pecking order. I'm not as nervous when Jens is playing. But people are making good points. I feel people making good points. You know, if you've got Carter Vickers in Welsh, they're not as bad. If you've got Starfelt in Welsh, he's not as bad. Which that's fine. But I think we need to go out and get a centre half in January, and I don't think that our second string team is what we're calling it is as good as what we think it is either. I think going forward we're alright, but we're very, very lightweight at the back, and that's proving it.
I get you with Welsh, mate. I do. But I don't think
I don't want to be on here pure slating the boy because that's no. But I'm not going to sit here and say that he's good when he's not.
No, I don't think me and you, again, this is just me and your opinions, mate, it's just opinions. I don't think we're talking out our arses in terms of, to what I've seen in social media, some fans are saying the same. It's not like we're just saying that because he's had two bad games that he's not good enough. We've said for a long time, he is a squad player, but a squad player for me, you've got to have they've got to be good enough to come in and do a job.
Yeah.
For me, you can see Welsh do that. I actually said before the game, actually the other night with JP, he should be able to come in and do well against Motherwell, and you should be comfortable and win the game. But he didn't look comfortable against Motherwell. Or I know last week, the last week St Mirren we were all shite, but in terms of just him, he didn't look comfortable. But this is what I'm saying as well. It shows you how good Starfelt and Vickers are. Starfelt might make mistakes. He might be a bomb scare sometimes, but he's a Swedish internationalist. He's played at the top level in terms of international. Gubin Kazam's a good team. He's played now with Celtic for a while. He's won trophies. Him and Vickers have got a good understanding. They might make mistakes, but you know they're not going to continually do it every minute of the game. They're not going to have to get. Put it this way, Vickers.
They've never been beat when they play together, mate.
When was the last time you seen Vickers get really bullied? Even against Madrid, they were only getting bullied.
I've never seen it.
That's what I mean. So again, but I'm like you. You're no saying that he's not good enough, or in terms of that he's no good football player. He's just not up to Celtic. And that's fine. I'm looking for Celtic. Do you know what I mean? That's just the simple fact. But obviously we're going to the goal, mate, that Motherwell scored as well. I know. With the goal for Kyogo, I actually thought it was good play for us. To be fair, the goal, it was a good move. I know Matt O'Reilly might be like, "You bastard, Kyogo," but again, I thought it was a very good move for the goal, mate. But obviously, the OG, it's people spoke about it. It was schoolboy era stuff. It was fucking Sunderland carry on. Again, you've only got to call it, Jason, what you need to call it. Well, not calling it out, but you need to criticise something that's critical. And again, it was a goal that could have been avoided, and it could have put you in the shit because we weren't really. I don't think we played well today in terms of the way we played, and I just thought we did create a lot of chances. But I know that sounds daft, it didn't play well, but we missed a lot of chances. But in terms of the way we played and the way we normally play, high intensity, quick play, it just wasn't there. I thought we were very flat, but you won the game, so you've got the balance. Do you criticise too much on the performance, or are you just really happy you've won the game, you're back with a 1-1, and then you just take it forward into the game during the week?
I think the main thing about the day was that we got a positive reaction. We've got that. We got the result. Look, you can't play every game at that intensity and and be amazing every game. That's not what we're saying. But I was the day at half time. I was saying to the boys I was with, like, there's something missing in it. I don't know what it is. It's as if there's a wee bit, especially because it was 1-1 at half time. Then it was a wee bit fucking panicky. But I thought our first goal was a really good goal. It was a good sort of Matt O'Reilly get in well, and then Kyogo, it was gone anyway, but Kyogo just does what he does and makes sure it goes in. So that was fine. We were in complete. I know we're sitting here saying we didn't play well, but we were in control. Motherwell weren't really creating much, and then they've just played this ball in, and mate, I don't even fucking know what happened, but Juranovic has just went to chest it, but Hearts ran out as well, and then it's just fucking went in, and you just Hearts running trying to get it, and he falls and the ball gets in, and mate, schoolboy stuff. It's just a lack of communication. But just before that, fucking Juranovic scalps it bar for a free kick, and Motherwell got something for that, mate, because they were sort of, you know what I mean, they started getting up the park and all that after that, but in regards to lose a goal like that, mate, it's just fucking. Mate, I don't think Joe Hart was that good today either. By the way, to be honest, I don't want to be put over critical, man, but I'm just calling it as this the way I see it from my opinion. And there's a few times he come out to get corners, mate, and he just fucking punch fresh air.
But you can only call it what you see, mate. It's your opinion. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. If people, it's what you see the game, mate. You've got your seat, mate. You're watching the game, so it's your opinion and what you think that you need to be critical or positive of.
Aye, but I just thought that sort of he was coming out and he's just trying to catch it and he's not getting it, and then it's fucking they're all panicking but again, we've hit the post, we've hit the bar in the first half. Hattati's had another good shots that's come off the post. But it was just that wee bit that wasn't clicking. But the own goal, man, was just, I actually laughed at it. Then I put it in the chat like that, that's fucking embarrassing. But it gave them an injection, and they came into it a wee bit. And don't get me wrong, he's got them playing well, by the way. Like, they've got a bit of identity about them now, Motherwell. And then we're kind of like that for half time. Thank fuck we can get in and sort of regroup here. But I just, again, it wasn't a glamorous game, but I'll take the 3 points, put us back in top of the league, and we'll just build for it, mate.
Like you say, we missed a wee bit of spark. Jota wasn't in the races today. I thought he done some wee tricks and some good deliveries, but he wasn't the Jota we've seen. Again, like you say, Jason, we've all played football. You can't be brilliant every single game. We will go through phases of maybe 2, 3, 4 games where we don't really play well, but we might still win the game. But because you're used to all this attacking football, sometimes you get a bit spoiled, mate. Some fans might go, "Oh, why is it like me?" Like I said, this Mon game would be I didn't say we would go unbeaten, but I like to use would these think maybe we could, because the evidence before that would say that.
But Ryan, 95% of Celtic fans thought that, I know.
Aye, but I'm saying it on this, so I'm getting fucking ridiculed, isn't I? But I'm just speaking my opinion, mate. But
even the day we were getting in today, my wee cousin was like, I thought we were going to go this season unbeaten. See, but the fact that St Mirren beat us, mate, it was just so fucking out of the blue.
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it.
That aye, really good performance and during the week. Then,
I just think in terms of, obviously, I think I don't know if it's what it is. It's a tiny wee bit of spark I'm missing. We're not missing, obviously, we're playing the game, so you can't be too critical. But I did think we were flat in the first half, and again, it's not just for us. Like, it's a half time when you can get a signal, you look through your phone and all that, and that's on Twitter. People are not happy with the first half. Hands better go and get. So it's all that me and you are talking about our arses. People were saying the same thing. The first half was flat. Second half was a wee tiny bit better, but it wasn't. It was flat. But I'm not saying flat in terms.
I thought we'd get better when Turnbull came on.
Yeah,
he started zipping balls, mate, in a bada.
I do like Turnbull. I've said it on the pod before. I do like Turnbull. I rate him very highly, but he's just got guys in front of him. Like I did think O'Reilly was poor today, but you've got O'Reilly top of his games, a very very good player. Hattati for me is brilliant. McGregor, he will find it hard to play in front of the three, because they three probably are your three main guys if they play at the highest, the top of their game. Hattati's goal, mate, phenomenal strike. If that's on the back page of the papers tomorrow, then I don't know what else. On social media, mate, after the game, dramatic scenes at Celtic Park. What was dramatic about Celtic winning 2-1? I get a red card, but what was dramatic about the game? It's not like Motherwell had like 4 or 5 chances near the end, or that. It wasn't dramatic. Celtic seen the game out with 10 men. And I don't, again, onto the red card, Jason, people's opinions on it. When I first looked at it, I thought, it's a red card, but I can get what Andrew's saying, because Welsh is there to come in and cover. Who says I know he might not get there, but it's not like he's 50 miles away from him. He might cover, but I don't know. It's hard to. I probably will sit on the fence with me. I think it's you probably could get it, and then if you didn't get it, you would go, right, okay, you'd probably take your card, because you see McGregor's reaction. He didn't expect the red card, because he turned away to walk towards Hart. He didn't turn away to walk down the tunnel. But I see McGregor. I don't think he was happy with Hattati with the ball, because that was a fucking slack ball.
You seen that? Aye.
It was a very, very slack ball to McGregor. I know he scored a brilliant goal, and I thought Hattati played okay today. But that slack pass only takes Motherwell to take a touch on their through goal. This is wee things at this level. I know it's Motherwell or St Mirren, etc. But even these teams are still like decent players that can fucking do that and score a goal.
See if you did that on Wednesday, it's a goal.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. This is where we need to cut out wee things the new, because Wednesday's going to be mate, Motherwell. It was a stuffy game today. Leipzig's going to be in a harder game. And listen, I think we'll raise our game. I don't think I like to think we're going to play like that. He's like I think obviously the occasion, Champions League, big stage, play against top players. Well, some of them are top players. You'll get an edge, you'll get a bit of adrenaline, and you'll take your game further. But in terms of the day, mate, I did think that the red card, it probably was right, but you could say that it couldn't have been if Welsh could have got there, but you can't determine if he was or he wasn't. You're just for your naked eye. The more you listen to Angie's press conference, you can kind of say that he was coming there. So I know but we spoke before we came on, mate. You said you don't think it was, but it's a hard one. It's a hard one.
I think at the game, when I seen it, I was like, fucking, he's got to go. But again, once Ange mentioned it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, well, Welsh is there. I don't think Welsh is getting to the ball. I never in a fucking winter Sunday to see getting there, but it wasn't the last man. I seen somebody make a point. I don't know if it was true, but Joe Hart was outside his box, so then would he not count as I don't fucking know, something pure load. You know, it's like people go into all these sort of technicalities on Twitter and all that, do you know what I mean? But mate, Hatate, he was alright today, you know what I mean? But I find it hard to believe that he's only been playing professional football for 3 years now. I heard that on the radio, I was like, that's unbelievable. But McGregor shouldn't be put in that position where he has to make a tackle like that. And again, right, if Starfelt and Carter Vickers are playing, they're there. If that happens, they're there. I don't understand how he's been left with that big massive gap. Why is Welsh away over there and why is Jens away over there? Do you know what I mean? If that's Carter Felt and Starter Vickers, that's not happening. I don't think it's a red card. I've watched it 2 or 3 times, and a few of my pals like that. But Welsh isn't getting to it. He said, all that boy needs today is chip Hart and it's a goal, and I'm like that. But I don't know, mate. I don't think it's a red card, but I don't think they'll appeal it. I think they'll just put it right for. McGregor was raging with Hatate because he's like, you putting a ball, but that's what I'm saying. No, Motherwell were still going for it at that point. They could, but then we done well enough to hold on and see it out and get the 3 points. So again, do what we're sitting here and we were critical, but I think it's a red card, mate. Nah.
Again, mate, I think it probably
only because, sorry, Ryan, only because 3 weeks ago a similar tackle happened and nothing happened about it.
Well, I think if you're a Celtic fan, you've watched the games, you'll understand who it is and what tackle it was and where it was. But I agree with you, mate. I agree in a sense of how it couldn't be a red, and I'm like, I get you how it could be. I must sit on the fence with it. I'm like, if it's a red, which it was, I'm not too fussed about it because I can see why. But if it was a yellow, I'd be like, okay, I can understand that as well. But obviously the referee, again, you've won the match, so the referee didn't win the game for you. Didn't help you win the game. I just thought the referee was poor.
Very, very difficult.
I thought the referee was poor. Again, let's just be honest here. He's kind of put himself out there for who his team is. Let's be honest with you. We all know he's a Rangers fan. He's
not even hiding it anymore.
He's not hiding it anymore. Some of the decisions is laughable. It's wee silly things like maybe wee silly fouls, and you're like, how the fuck is that not a foul? Joe Hart gets sparked out, and then he tried to kick the ball again, and he fell, and he's playing on, and then he only played on when he seen Joe Hart was sparked out.
By the way, right? See where that Joe Hart. See if that boy puts that ball in the back of the net. He's fucking getting the goal, by the way.
Of course he's getting the goal, because he wasn't going to stop until he seen Joe Hart going like that, and then he stopped the game once the players were telling him.
Aye.
It was nothing to do with it wasn't a yellow card or a red card or anything. It was just a foul. But Hart sparked out, and then he's no wanting to fucking stop the game. That's a good knock.
See, I'm under the impression that as soon as it's a head knock, you have to stop the game there and then. Twice, mate, because Hatate went down hard and he said, and he was pure. Is it an end pure? I didn't see him.
It's common sense. When you see a head knock, you stop the game.
But I wasn't, mate. As soon as I never knew it was him until we were on the way to the game until they said it was him. And I'm like, mate, nothing that man does surprises me. And right, see that with McGregor, he couldn't wait to send him off. Could not fucking wait. By the way, he was like that. The fucking card was out before he was even fucking before the foul was even committed. Couldn't wait, and then he had 6 minutes on. Where did they get fucking 6 minutes for? Right, there was a few ones that Motherwell were time wasting for the 7th minute. That Liam Kelly was fucking moving the ball about and all that. Nothing getting done. He gave Van Veen 5 or 6 fouls before they booked him. Right, see when that man referees a Celtic game, there is no protection for any Celtic player. It's a fucking free for all. The tackles that they were putting in, again, it's becoming the our opposition's fucking tactic that they'll just kick balls back onto the pitch and or they'll, do you know what I mean? They'll do any time waste and they're getting away with it because nobody's fucking doing anything about it. Mate, there's no protection for our players whatsoever when he's refereeing, and there was we should have had I think we should have had a penalty as well because that was a handball as well. But no, there was just a few things a day, and you're just what? Some of the tackles that they're putting in our players, and it just never seen it.
There was one as well, and he eventually booked Ricky Lamy for the Paulo and Kyogo to the side of the park. But
wasn't he going to book him?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It took him like 30 seconds to think about, oh, wait there, there's 2 or 3 players moaning about this. Oh, come here, right, then I'll book you. But see the way see for me, right, the football now, the way football's gone now, right, the way things are. The way I see, again, I've not played football, Jason, in 5 years, right? A lot of people know because of through injury, right? But see now, the way the rules is, see as soon as you pull somebody back, is that an automatic yellow card?
Aye.
So why is he going to think about it when it's a fucking automatic yellow card?
Because doesn't it? I'm not going to say it because I'll say something that get us into bother, but you know what I'm talking about.
Aye, no, I know, aye, but
mate, do you know what? I've reverted back to it before, right? See when you knew what it was like with him when he sent you Simonovic off at Ibrox on Morelos when it was red card. I still don't think that was a red card, by the way.
I don't.
And he sent players off. What it's fucking. I'm surprised that they never get. I honestly thought Motherwell would have got a penalty there or not. It's just so blatant.
Again, I don't want to spend too much on it, but I just thought I'd mention the point, mate, that the referee I did think was poor. But I don't think it didn't impact their performance and anything like that. We're just pointing out the referee was poor.
It's very, very difficult when you know you're not getting it.
But again, back to some of the performance, I thought as much again, fans will maybe be critical of me saying this, etc. Right, but I thought Maeda was decent in some parts of the game, but sometimes I think he fought to deceive. Sometimes
well off it, by the way.
He's very good at the high pressing. I thought that's done well a few times to get by men and get balls into the box. But the only thing that stops me from saying he's brilliant and stuff like that, I think it's maybe technically. I think Abada and Jota are technically better than them. I think for me, I'd rather obviously they've all got different types of play. Maeda's high press and he's buzzing everywhere. He doesn't stop. Abada's direct. Jota's direct. They're willing to take men on and skills, etc. I just don't. I'm being honest with you, Jason. Right? I don't. Again, this isn't criticising Maeda, by the way. This is just me as a fan. I don't know if he's a forward or if he's a winger. I don't know what he is. I can't because he does stuff that he does stuff that strikers does, and he does stuff what wingers do. So I'm like, what is he? Is he a 10 behind the striker? Just let him have a free for all and let him do what he wants. Is he a winger or is he a striker? Because he's not going to, in my opinion, he's not going to play in front of Kyogo and Jack and Marcus if he's a striker. And in my opinion, for me, what I've seen Hasebanovic, he is decent, right? But I prefer Jota and Abad as my 2 wingers. That's just my opinion. I just think that, but I'm not saying he's a bad player, by the way, because he's not a bad player. I just think technically, I think he's a bit behind on Abada and Jota, but he does things that Jota and Abada don't do in terms of the high press and the intensity. But again, his assist record, I think that an assist every, well, I think before the Dane St Mirren game, I think it was like every 70 minutes or every 70 minutes to get an assist. So he's not doing that bad, but I just think sometimes he fought to deceive. Again, I'm no criticising him. I'm just saying that for me, probably onto the game on Wednesday, I would rather play Abada and Jota. I know Abada played a few games for Israel during the week, the last 2 or 3 weeks here. Sorry, the last 2 weeks here, international break. So again, he could be tired, and that's why he didn't start the game. I know Maeda played a bit for Japan as well. So it is a squad game in the day. We'll need to chop and change. But if I'm the manager, for me, obviously it all depends who you're playing and your tactics and what you want to do that game and who you're playing against. But for me, Jota and Abada, consistently, I think you'll get more joy and goals with it than Maeda. But again, I'm not criticising. I'm just saying it's my preference to play A2, but I can see what Maeda brings. So you're stuck between even Hasebanovic. You've got 4 quality players in terms of what they can do in certain aspects. But I can see how sometimes fans get frustrated with Maeda because he is quick, etc. But I think sometimes like his first touch, like something, I don't think he's got a good first touch. But the full point of what I'm trying to say is, if I'm going to pick a team, if it's me, I think stats wise, obviously in terms of like goals, etc. I know assist wise, Maeda's good, but in terms of all one play, I prefer to play Jota and Abada, and I think the only reason maybe Abada didn't play today is maybe because he had a knock or he played a lot during the international break.
I know I said that Maeda was off it there, right? But I'll retract that. I don't think he's been off it, but compared to when they first came in last year, we were like, fucking wow, but is that because we had never seen a player like that before? We were like, do you know what I mean? And then he does press really, really well, but I'm sort of like you, I know, I'm like, what position is he? Is he a forward? Is he a winger? Or what? But his first touch is fucking bad, mate. Bad, man.
That's your opinion. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's not very good.
Mate, I just that want to see that chance against Real Madrid, mate. That still haunts me, man. Fucking hell. We made it, but Abada for me, mate. I think Abada should play. I thought again when him and Turnbull come on today, we get a wee bit more joy, a wee bit more. You know, Abada breaks the lines, mate. He plays off that last defender. You've seen it how many times he scored against Rangers, mate, because he plays on the fucking line. He's very, very, mate. Abada's very quick. But I made I sort of agree with you, mate. I think it's just that he's pressing and he's a fucking workhorse, mate. He runs his heart out, but the last 2 games he's been pretty. I've been like, do you know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but I think for Wednesday, I think I would start Abada and Jota definitely. I think because Abada went up front at one point today, I know. He'll go off. So I just think Abada's brilliant, mate, for the boy his age. But is he 23 or something? Or is he even 23?
No, I think he might be. I think he's 19, 20, mate.
Mate, fucking criminal how good that boy is.
But see, obviously, I know. Again, I'm not going to know. Let him come out this as well. I don't think Jota didn't play that well. I don't think he played, obviously against Mirren, nobody played well, but he was on the bench. He's been quiet the last few weeks as well. Real Madrid, I thought he was a bit. I don't know if it was a stage fright for Real Madrid in the Champions League. I don't know, but I thought he was poor there as well.
He was already against Shakhtar away.
But it was frustrating with Shakhtar. Sometimes I'm like, just shoot and hit a dig. You know what I mean? And he's trying to pass the ball and.
See what we're seeing in all time with this Celtic team is very, very inexperienced with a lot of stuff.
See the thing I pick up on, Jason, right? I know it's a bit off topic here, right? But it's talking about inexperience. See the game against Real Madrid, right? You're nothing each, right? People might say, you want to go and win the game. You do, right? But why does Joe Hart need to rush every single goal kick, every single ball out? You can waste a bit of time and use your nut. He's an experienced player. So against Real Madrid, you're nothing each. You want to go win the game. I totally get that. But sometimes you can just take 5 seconds to get yourself back in, reset, pass out wide or hit a goal kick. It doesn't need to be 100 mile an hour all the time. This is where you need to start using your experience. Use your noggin. See it like in the last 5 minutes. A game's like the day. You don't need to go gung ho. You don't need to put the balls in the box. Just play the simple pass and just keep the ball. You don't need to be 100 mile an hour all the time. This is, I think, they sometimes too much, because I think the manager's obviously brainwashed them into this. I don't want to say brainwashed, but he's got them into this way of playing philosophy of playing quick, get the ball, high tempo. Everything's got to be high intensity. Sometimes you can actually walk out of a shy, take your time, walk out a goal kick, take your time. I know it depends the scoreline, right? But you don't need to be gung ho all the time. The thing about I noticed it more in the Real game. You're nothing each, and I'm like, by the way, I would take a draw at nothing each. I know I'm want to win the game, but I would take a draw. But everything was just get the ball, get it out, get it wide, get it wide. I'm like, settle down. You don't need to do that every single goal kick.
Seeing what you're saying about this, right? I've noticed this the last couple of games, right? About this having this quick throw-ins and all that. The teams are becoming wise to it now. So that it's now a fucking tactic is interrupt what they're doing after the ball as well, because we fucking shouldn't be done against Rangers when we took 4 off them. And I seen it at St Mirren, buddy, and I know there was. See that St Mirren game? There was no ball boys. Did you notice that?
I didn't know. I didn't notice that.
There was ball boys, but they weren't going to get the ball. Then it was the day Motherwell, when the ball was going out for a throw in, they were putting it back onto the park so they could get that extra couple of seconds, or they were storing in front of the ball at free kicks so that they can regroup. So teams are coming wise to it. So is it really worth trying to do it now? Do we maybe try something else? But I do agree with you that I think in Europe, sometimes, especially if you're sitting, say that game's 1-0 by us with 10 minutes to go, as you're saying, I would be like, fucking park the bus, man.
You
don't want to commit. And it's just, I just feel that teams are starting to, I think with St Mirren doing what they've done, people are just going to fucking blueprint that and be like, right, that's how you beat them.
I think the only way they stop Celtic is stop us playing with high intensity. St Mirren done it. Well, to be fair, I'm going to say St Mirren done it. I just thought, I didn't think St Mirren were that good. I just thought we were fucking rank rotten. I don't think St Mirren done a job on his eye, but I didn't think St Mirren played like the best thing they've ever played in their life. I just thought we were really poor. It didn't help when you're playing with 2 strips. It just ridiculous.
What was all that about, by the way?
I still don't know how that's not even been up. Mate, that was ridiculous.
What did they not wear this band for?
Again, mate, I don't know if it's to do with contracts and sponsorship. You need to wear a certain game or you need to wear it so much a season, but I really don't know, mate. I really don't know. But I do feel that sometimes, obviously onto Wednesday, mate, we do need to. Sometimes I think game management, especially even in Scotland, you don't need to do everything gung ho. You don't need to do everything so quick. But in terms of overall about the day, mate, what was your feelings after the game as well? Obviously, I know you're a bit no downhearted with the performance. You're just like, we didn't really play too good. But the main thing is, mate, we got to 3 points and you're sitting pretty still 2 points clear. We're still, I think it's 12 goals ahead or something like the Rangers or whatever it is. So you're still sitting pretty goal difference. So nothing. The only thing that's changed is that we defeat against your name. It's nothing's changed too much, but I guarantee you, in more than the papers, it will be Celtic struggled past Motherwell. And let's be fair, Rangers were very good. They were rampant past Hearts. Hearts were poor, but it'll be Rangers rampant. Gio's teams are back, and it'll be Celtic. Thematic end of Celtic Park. Celtic struggled past well when 2-1. It looks like a struggle, but in terms of
we've hit the bar, mate.
Missed chance, mate. See, don't hang you. Obviously, I've asked you about the game, mate. But in terms of, I think we need. I know we've won 9-0. We've won this. We've won that. But we need to be more clinical in some of these games, because some of the chances you're missing. Some of the chances you're missing, mate. It's so frustrating.
See what you're saying about taking chances. See if we take another chance in that game, the day's 4-1. McGregor doesn't need to make that challenge. You don't lose your captain for the next game. That's it. Do you know what I mean? That's the way that you're like. So in that way, we've been doing it. How many chances we made created in Europe? But I don't know. It's not that we're not scoring goals. We've scored fucking like 29 goals or something, or 20 odd goals already this year. But there's definitely something. I think they're still trying to be too cute with goals, mate. They're trying to get the perfect goal all the time. Well, we've got players in that team that if you shoot for a considerable distance, they're fucking hitting the top bin. Hatate's done it. Jota can do it. Turnbull can hit a dig and all, by the way. So see, rather than try to play the fucking 50 odd passes, have a pop. Because one or two of them's going to go in. So I think we should maybe try and add that to our game. But in regards to the day, mate, when Rangers beat them, we were saying in the chat, it doesn't matter the performance, just get the 3 points and we've done that. But in regards to the tabloids, it's already started. I've already seen it. There was a page on Facebook earlier on, like an hour ago, said that Rangers were top of the league. So obviously I had to put them correct. And even coming up on the road and listening to that, the phone in, and it was the way that they were all talking as if Rangers had went top of the league. Nothing's changed. We've been beat once in a year.
Once the mess up in a year, and you think you think Celtic were back in a crisis.
Well, this is it. When we get beat, it's a crisis.
But let's be fair, it is really at Celtic. When you do get beat, it is a disaster. But in terms of losing one game,
if we had drew the day, I'd have been like that fucking hell. By the way, what's going on here? I do believe that it's because we've not got Carter Vickers or Starfelt. I think once they come back into that squad, mate, it's going to be a totally different Celtic team.
Well, see if you're not get your back line sorted, that does detriment the way you play. But it's alright having that's why I'm saying about Wednesday. It's alright seeing you're good going forward, but if you've not got a solid defence, no matter what you do up front, you're going to leak goals if you've not got the defensive partnership that you want. Like you said today, I get Taylor. I'll give him his due. He was due a bad game because, well, I'm going to say bad, but he wasn't what he's been like the last few weeks and the last few months.
He was playing in fucking Poland on Wednesday night. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not going to be critical. I mean, he's been due a bad game. Ivanovic, people, because he scored an own goal today, and then some. I seen people on Twitter saying he's been shite for half a set. I'm like, listen, just because he's had one or two, 3 dodgy weeks, he's not a bad player. Every time he plays for Croatia, he's outstanding. So don't come out and just because he's made a mistake or.
You're no Croatia's right back if you're shite, mate.
Of course you're no, mate. And again, people might say, well, Barisic was the left back, but Barisic for me...
Can't get in the team.
But see, for me, right, I know he's not doing well for him right now. I don't think he's a bad player. I just think he's not want to be there. And he's away with it because he before...
He wanted to be there for a while, mate.
But that season when he was amazing, mate, and he played for Croatia, he was very good, mate. He's delivery's very good, so I'm not going to be critical. But again, I just thought that you know what, I pick out certain players. I know we picked out certain players, i.e., just to talk about for the podcast and the performance. But in terms of the full team, you can't say we were rotten in terms of we were absolutely shocking. We won the game, but we were just a bit flat. We still created chances, but just weren't clinical.
It was just one of those.
Aye.
It was one of those after the international break games where the players are still they've travelled a lot. Do you know what I mean? And you get the 3 points, and then you're basically starting your week Monday, where you've got a full week to work with them.
The only thing, like you said as well before we come on, mate, I've said it for a long time. Again, it's not really in terms of today's game or whatever, but I still feel we're too nice, mate. I think we're all
100%, mate. 100%.
We're all technical, good players, and I know Vickers is a bit solid stuff. Help competes there, but McGregor puts a tackle on. But I do feel in terms of we've not got somebody that's going to. I'm not saying break legs. I'm not saying break legs, injure guys. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying let a guy know you're there. See, like the first 2 or 3 minutes of a game, right? That's my man. A wee dink. I'm on you today. Just but that's the dirty side of the game. I don't think we do, especially in Europe. I don't think we do it good enough.
How many times did you watch Scott Brown and he would be running beside that player, and you could clearly see that he was saying something to the guy, and the guy's like, fucking what?
It's like, see even when your team's 1-0 down or you're not for each and the game's flat, and it's just like, you probably could say about today, right? The game's flat, it's one each or nothing each. There's not really much in the game. See like a tackle, a 50-50 tackle, go for it because it gets the crowd up, it gets the team going. That's just wee things I'm saying that I don't think we do enough. We're all technically good players. McGregor's actually put himself a bit about more, but I still feel we're missing a midfield enforcer to do that job.
Yeah.
And but to be fair, for the goal we there, I thought McGregor was good. Took the ball, he's right forward. But I'm not talking about in that terms. I mean in terms of being
a fucking tackle on in the
aye. Again, people might think we're talking shite, mate, but I generally believe that for me,
this is going to be this Applegard.
Again, I know he made his debut today. Again,
a boy, mate. Do you know what I mean? So is he going to be the one that can?
To be fair,
obviously you're wanting somebody that, as you're saying, when it's 0-0, that can just grab it with the skiff of the neck and start playing a bit of fucking dirty football because you need it. Beaton kind of done it a wee bit, but Scott Brown, mate, we've not replaced Scott Brown.
It's very hard to. Let's be fair.
It's hard to replace him because of what he's done, but you need that sort. You need somebody in that fucking with that mentality that's going to be fucking let him know you're there, mate. Especially with how easily we're getting bullied after the ball, mate. See if I'm playing tomorrow and their strikers fucking nudging me, I'm fucking nudging them back. We don't do that. We just go. Do you know what I mean? Mate, do you know what drives me insane? See when we foul a player and they go and see if he's all right.
No, I can't stand that, mate. I can't stand that. See, it's different if you're really done a bad tackle and the guy's in pain. What mate, you all right? Right, back in position. If he's injured, see him after the game, mate. I'm really sorry, you're right. But see, during the game, you're there. You're there to fight for your team. You're there to win 3 points. You're not there to see if a guy's. Oh, mate, I'll give you a horn up. Aye, sportsmanship, I get that. Listen, it's sportsmanship. But listen, just get on with the game, get back in position. Then there's, oh, mate, you're all right. Get back in. And I don't think, again, this isn't just under Ange. It's happened under Neil Lennon. It happened even under Dyler. I know with Scott Brown, but you can't just have one guy. Then 2 or 3 guys need to help. It can't just be one guy. But I keep going back to it again. The shit's probably sailed with him getting him. But a type of Wanyama type player I think we need. A guy that is good on the ball, but a guy that will be muscly at set pieces.
Big Mulgrew done it, I know. Big Charlie Mulgrew done it, I know. Get in a bit.
Hopefully this guy Abelgard could be the guy, mate, because he seems for what I've seen him be playing with Ruben Kazan, and obviously you do a bit of research on him. He looks he can put in a tackle, he looks he can play football, he looks to score goals. Again, he's only a young boy as well, so I'm hoping now that, for me anyway, I buy into all this settle in to a degree, right? I do to a certain degree, but he's been away now for a few weeks getting fit, obviously during international duty when he signed. Surely now he should be at least to play maybe 20 minutes now, half an hour, come off a sub and build towards playing because we won't need him.
The bench are fit enough to play.
Well, I've always said that, mate. If you're fit, if your manager names you on the bench, unless you're lying and saying you're no fit, you're fit to play. Know what I mean? And it's another game as well. I know. Again, James Forrest again. Forrest, is he ever going to play again? Do you know what I mean? Because I spoke to JP about it for the pre-match. Sometimes we're flat or against St Mirren, you're not playing well. You need somebody to get a goal.
The day was a James Forrest type of game.
But he's not putting them on to go and win the game. So what's that telling you? He said in an interview a few weeks ago, I think it was, I can't remember who it was with, but he says, he's not had these opportunities yet, but he will get opportunities. He's still a valuable player, etc., etc. But yeah, the day's flat, and like you say, he brings on Hasevanovic, James Forrest and wet seen. St Mirren, he's brought in 5 subs to win the game. James Forrest, they wet seen. I actually thought he might have played today because we heard about injuries. I didn't know how fit Hasebanovic was, how much Maeda was fit. I actually said to JP on the pod last night, sorry, that he might actually start the game. I thought he might have played today. I thought he might have started the game. This is the opportunity. Go and put your chance. Go and put your name for a chance to play on Wednesday. If you play with everybody, you might play on Wednesday. But this is what I'm saying. He is, for me. He's a squad player now, and he's a guy that might dip in and out every 4 or 5 weeks. And just again, this is just my opinion for what I'm seeing.
The experience he's got is unbelievable. But he's fucking scored in Rome and shit, mate.
But see, no, listen, I totally get that, right? I totally get that. But experience can only get you so far. It's the same as with ability.
The day was a game where I thought he could have come on.
But this is what this is the point I'm trying.
I know what you're saying. I agree.
It's the point I'm trying to make. When is he going to get the chance? Does the manager not trust him in to go and play and go and win my game or go and because see again, it's just my opinion. But when you want to go and win a game, say you're 1-0 down or you're 1 each, whatever, he's not putting them on. And if he's putting them on, he's getting 15 minutes, 10 minutes. It's not like he's getting put on at 60 minutes to go and win you the game.
No, see the last game he started, he scored.
Aye.
Up and down well.
Mm-hmm. But then you've hardly seen him since then. Again,
I don't know. They gave him a 3-year deal, so he must have something to offer. But he's only fucking 30-year-old.
I think he's 30, 31, aye.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like
again, but this is what I said about to JP as well. See, the next game he does start, it's no fair on him either to then go and put on this massive performance because he's not played for weeks, and then people can say, "Aye, you're training at high intensity, you're training with these players at Celtic, you should still be fully fit and fully sharp." Listen, sometimes I was in the bench sometimes I was in the bench for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks in a row, and then I get thrown in, and I was like, "Whoa, I'm no fit. I'm no match fit. I might be fit as in healthy, and I'm fully fit to play 90 minutes, but in terms of being up to match fitness and running doggies and starting back, it's a total different ball game. It's a total different ball for training and playing 5-10 minutes here and there. So I just thought just to end the pod, mate, I just thought I'd put that point to your close. When will Forrest actually play a big part of the game? Will it just be 15 minutes here and there? Because I did think today would have been a chance for him to start the game and put his name back out there in a way to fans saying, "Barry, I'm still here. I'm still a fucking good player," because we've hardly seen much in this season.
He might play next week, mate, but depending on how we go on Wednesday. You know, it's Johnston away. I think it should be there a kick-off next week, so he might play then. But aye, I mean, you're saying Ben's going to get his opportunity. He's fucking in his 30s. It's
no, I mean opportunity to play this season.
Oh, I know.
That's what I mean.
No,
aye.
But again, I don't know, mate. He's got. I agree with you on the whole. You know, people say that they're fit and all that, but I'm talking to experience, mate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you don't, if you don't play, if you don't play, so start every week and playing consistently every week, mate, it's so hard to get up to speed, but because you can't get fit and get match fit, playing 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It takes you 10 minutes to get into a game, mate. It takes you a good 10 minutes to get in and get a feel for a game of football, mate. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, mate. He obviously rates him to some degree because he's on the bench every week. I don't know. I think his substitutions can become very predictable. It always seems to be the same three. Fucking Turnbull, Haksabanovic, Maeda, or Abada, whatever. Mix it up a wee bit. Because I don't think they would have been waiting for. Wouldn't have expected Forrest to come on today.
I just thought I'd put that point to end it, mate, because I do feel that I did think he'd have started, mate, and that's how I was like, he didn't come on to try and give a bit of, I don't know how you say it, a bit of impact in the game, like go and get a goal, go and do something to get the crowd up. And
I think that Applegarde will start next week, but because McGregor's also suspended.
Aye, that's a shout. Aye.
So, and I think he is a CDM, so I think he will start. I think he'll start him. I would start him, but then is he going to start Moy? I don't know. I would start him, but I don't think he'll make as many changes next week.
I think for me, Jason, as much as we're saying guys like Forrest that had any chances, I totally get that, right? But in terms of maybe the odd change, obviously all depends if injuries happen, etc. But I think Ange will learn for that. I don't think he'll make 6 a game because listen, Jason, you're still playing as well. I know it was only like 21s and amateur, etc. Pro youth I played. You should be able to play 2 games in a week. I know it's high level Celtic. I know it's the Champions League, and then you're playing with Celtic. I totally get that, right? But you should be able to play Tuesday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Sunday, whatever, and get 3 days break and then play your top game. You should be fit at this level to do that. 3 days is a decent recovery time. Even 2 days.
McGregor.
But
it's
for me,
an example.
It's different down south, right? Because I think Harry Kane says it, mate. Harry Kane says like they play like I think they play like is it Christmas Eve they play or Boxing Day? It's like Boxing Day and then like they don't play and then they like, play again. Don't play for 2. That's 3 games in like 6 days. Then I can understand that's at the highest level to then recover in a day and then play again. That is hard, but 2 games in a week, mate. Surely. That's why I don't get sometimes why managers, not just Ange in general, they make so many changes after European games. It's no like you need to do it. If you mean niggles, fair enough. But again, I just think he'll win for that, mate. I think the
St Mirren game, the St Mirren one there was no need for that because we're going in a national break anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If a professional footballer that's earning 30 grand plus a week just turn around and saying that he can't play 2 games in a week, then I'd play 2 games in a week for free.
Well, I done it.
Aye, you know what I mean?
I paid a tenner a week. You know what I mean?
So it's that doesn't wash me that.
But I do get they're playing at a high level, and I totally understand how hard it is to train at that intensity every week and eat healthy. People might say as well, "Oh, how's it hard getting this money?" And you need to keep fit. Listen, it's not just about keep fit. It's a total 24/7 job. That's why some of these guys are paid good money. And like I said to JP and mate, Tom Cruise gets £70 million for a film. Some players they're getting 15 grand a week, but compared to some of these guys, it's not a lot of money in terms of what some of these film stars get, but nobody moans about the film stars get money.
No, I know.
But I do get, I know that's a bit off course, but I'm trying to put a scenario to that. But overall, mate, obviously, your overall thoughts of today's game and any wee thoughts leading into the games during the week. Obviously, we'll do a podcast for that, but just your wee thoughts into the new week, mate.
I think in regards to today, I'm just happy that we're still sitting top of the league. We got the 3 points, and we got the positive reaction that we wanted after the game before the international break. I think Wednesday is obviously a very, very important game. I think if Carter Vickers is even 40% fit, they should play, because that's how much we value him. And I think if he has 50%, I think he'll play him. I think he will. I think he'll play anyway. I just think he's just not letting that away. But I think he will play because I think he trained last week. Mm-hmm. So I think he will play. And but if I just keep getting visions of Welsh starting against Leipzig, man, it's going to keep me up at night. I can't. It was just. And I really don't like putting Celtic players down, mate, but I can't think about it, man.
No, I'm agreeing with you in a sense, mate. I think that you're obviously weaker going to Leipzig with Welsh than you would be Vickers, even Starfelt. I think Vickers. I hope it's just mind games and he is fit. Just obviously they don't know what else can do. I hope he is fit. I think he needs to be fit because if we want to put the best challenge up to Leipzig and give us our all, then you want your best players playing in these big games because I'm not going to say it's obviously every game at Celtic is a must win, but if you get, for me, it's a must not lose, I think, during the week because if you do get a point and then you do go and maybe get 2 good results at home with Shakhtar and Leipzig, and then it means that you might qualify out of this group. So for me, you need to I think we need to get a positive result during the week, mate. Obviously, we'll speak about it in more detail, but I'm all like you. I do think that Vickers has got to play if he's fit. If he's even 80% fit, just play him. If you need to get 60 minutes at him and then change him, then that's what we need to do. But I'd rather.
One of the ones go out and just say, "Give me a no." Give me a no.
I'd rather get a good hour at him with injury free than no play him at all. But again, because we are light in that, you've got to obviously think about, do you risk him for one game? But I'm like, it's a massive game in my opinion. It's a massive game in the group.
So St Johnstone away.
I know, but so that's what I'm saying. You're like, do you play Welsh on Wednesday and then play Vickers on Saturday, or do you risk Vickers to play Welsh? It's a pure me fuck in it. But this is why we're not the manager, mate.
The league's your bread and butter.
Of course it is, mate. Of course.
I want European football after Christmas, so fuck knows, mate. I don't get paid the money to make the decisions, and thank fuck. Do you know what I mean?
I know, mate. I know. I'm like you, mate. I'm just happy that I'm a fan and I can do fancy football on it. I don't need to actually pick a team. But again, mate, good to have you on, mate. Good to chat about the game. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, mate. I know it's only Saturday night, so still a wee day or two to go, a rest, and then back to the madness next week, mate. But take care, mate. Hopefully during the week, we'll get a positive result as well, mate. But hail, mate, and take care.
Hail, cheers, mate. See you later.